Hello and now welcome to a game between Ling, also known as 120 or 120 versus WFZ. This is going to be an Undead versus Undead mirror match as the game is getting underway. Ling or 120 spawning as the red Undead over here on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right, we have WFZ spawning as the blue Undead. Undead versus Undead, as I mentioned. And first thing I want to say about Undead vs Undead, I really like the matchup. The reason being is because Undead vs Undead is actually one of the matchups where you really start to see different heroes. I don't know if this is going to be the case. I don't know anything about this particular cast, but the Death Knight does lose a lot of his power in the Undead vs Undead matchup because the Death Coil doesn't become a two or a double-edged weapon. You are only able to heal your units, and short of death coiling some mercenaries, you're not really able to get that much nuke down. And because of that, you often see some strange play, Lich first or something like that. Is it going to be an Undead versus Undead matchup? No, it's going to be a Death Knight going up against an Ultra of Darkness, Ling, opening up with a delayed Ultra of Darkness, which normally means it is going to be a Tavern hero. Acolytes are going to go ahead and cross across the center here, right in the middle portion of the map. They will scout each other out, but this Acolyte is not going to see, or it could be, is it Dreadlord first? Alright, I don't know if this is actually a Dreadlord first into a delayed expansion. That could be the case here. The Acolyte is going to come across, or if he's going to cancel this Dreadlord, we'll have to take a look at what happens there. Meanwhile, the red Acolyte going to come across inside, be able to start to do a bit of scouting. Ghoul now purposely pulling back these apprentice wizards, trying to pull that aggro as the Acolyte now still moving around here in the center. Let's take a look at this. The Dreadlord has still not been trained up, and Blue now knows that, yeah, something is up. WFZ is looking like, wait a second, where's the hero? Where's that hero? I don't see the hero yet. And this is actually a good call by WFZ. WFZ knows that he's trying to scout out some important information, and since this is a mirror match, he knows when normally the Death Knight should appear on typical timing. Instead, it is going to be a quick Dreadlord. Dreadlord going to come across and say, you know what? I'm going to have a 4-unit surround. There you go. Poor Acolyte has nowhere to go. Down he goes. All right, with that, the Dreadlord is going to pick up a Sacrificial Skull, most likely selling that Scroll of Town Portal, using the corpse from that Acolyte, and now he's going to perhaps do a bit of scouting. He could try and fast expand here. Meanwhile, in the middle portion of the map, WFZ just using these skeletal minions going after the Rogue Wizard here. Now, WFZ has used a Death Coil to try and take down this Rogue Wizard or deal a lot more damage. Gonna pick up some powerful items, a Ring of Protection +3, and also that Gloves of Haste. Those items all together is gonna give that Death Knight a little bit of an advantage. However, Ling using this Dreadlord Sacrificial Skull opening first is going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Acolytes are already coming across here. You can take a look. Vampiric Aura doing its thing, healing up. Ziggurat is being trained up here. Additional Acolytes should be trained. I don't know why Ling isn't doing that as of yet. Nope. Still summoning a Ziggurat off over here, and that should quickly be upgraded. Off on the other side, Death Knight with Lightning Shield desperately trying to get to level 2. However, unfortunately for him, it is difficult for WFZ to currently try and creep out a lot. I think he actually let the Lightning Shield deal the final blow there. Hence the reason why the Death Knight doesn't have that much experience right now. I thought he got to level 2 a bit earlier and is only going to be sitting at 3-0, or, well, what was that, 345 is my guess? Was it 351 off by 6 experience, as the Death Knight now makes its way over to these apprentice wizards. Now, Dreadlord is out onto the field, has a crystal ball, has a Rod of Necromancy, Slippers of Agility, and Potions of Greater Mana. Meanwhile, off on the other end, Death Knight, you can take a look at all of those items there, as WFZ is also getting very close to level 3. Both sides are playing relatively close to home, not really wanting to venture forth right now, keeping that home field advantage as much as possible. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. The Dreadlord has a fair amount of mana, and with also this Potion of Greater Mana, should be able to sleep multiple units when the time comes. low hit point ghoul. Gonna go ahead and retreat back. This Sasquatch is gonna get taken down. There it goes. Let's take a look at this. It is Vampiric Aura level 1. Could be level 1 Sleep, level 1 Vampiric Aura, and then level 1 Carrion Swarm. Level 2 Sleep doesn't really benefit that much, and level 2 Vampiric Aura really wouldn't. Well, we obviously know that isn't the case, but we don't know what exactly that Dreadlord is going for. We are going into dual crypts, no tech to tier 2 though, so we could be going for a mass ghoul strategy as more ghouls are still getting added. We are at Necropolis, no tech to tier 2. We are getting up a Tomb of Relics off over here as Ling has this expansion already going. Dreadlord gonna make its way across, replenishment potion doing its thing. Meanwhile, WFZ Death Knight already sitting at level 3 as well, gonna be able to heal these Crypt Fiends. The problem though is that those Crypt Fiends are weak to the ghouls. However, the ghouls still do not have Ghoul Frenzy, and until they do, without Unholy Aura, these ghouls are actually walking kind of slow. With that said, however, the Dreadlord can also use that Carrion Swarm and be extremely effective as a low hit point ghoul tries to run away. Alright, all of these units trying to get away back across here. Well, Dreadlord now also going to be making its way back down, picking up a Sobi Mass. Units are all making their way for a quick run. And what 120 really wants is for WFZ to chase. Chasing after this army right now would not guarantee a kill. Oh, we could have seen a sleep on that unit, but the timing would have been rather difficult. Let's take a look what's going on. The army is going to go ahead and regroup there, as now the WFZ making his way off to the north to try to put a bit of pressure on with these Crypt Fiends. Now, the Dark Ranger second as a hero is very interesting at this point. The reason why it is interesting is that the Dark Ranger is meant to put more pressure than just that Lich. Alright, Acolytes trying to move around every which way. What we should be looking at, however, is the Nerubian Towers actually hitting different targets. By hitting different targets, it actually applies the slow multiplier to multiple units, and by doing exactly that, it actually causes a bit of problems. Alright, one low hit point ghoul gonna turn into a skeleton right there. There it goes. Deathcoil saves another unit as the ghouls are just swarming. WFZ gonna be able to finish off one Crypt Fiend, no problem. Dreadlord now getting up to level 4, gonna perhaps sleep another unit. What level sleep is it? I can't tell. Level 2 sleep. So level 2 sleep for the longer duration, as the units are now trying to go around every which way. Obsidian Statue going to get taken down. However, there is an army of skeletal minions that is simply eating through so many units here. Vampiric Aura also doing a lot of work. Level 2 Vampiric Aura, 20% heal per swipe, as you're going to take a look at these ghouls just trying to take down units here. Alright, a low hit point Crypt Fiend could get taken down. There it goes. There goes another skeletal minion. And with level 2 Vampiric Aura, level 2 sleep, well, the Carrion Swarm would have been perfect against these skeletal minions, but it is not on the line. We'll see if we see a Tome of Retraining a little bit later. However, this army of ghouls is doing massive damage right now, as we're going to see a surround onto that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger in serious trouble. Deathcoil tries to heal. Wanda Mana Stealing trying to heal back up. Dreadlord perhaps can try and sleep the Death Knight. Death Knight currently slept Deathcoil onto the Dark Ranger. Gonna go ahead and try and sleep another unit here, as we see the mechanical Goblin Zeppelin, which is immune to that, well, sleep. Alright, Dreadlord unable to save that low hit point ghoul. Ghouls are now retreating back, and unfortunately Blight is beneficial regardless of the undead owner. Blight now healing up multiple units here. Acolytes trying to back away. Nerubian Towers applying that cold debuff to different units. Finally, as the Death Knight skeletal minions are diving on in here to deal large amounts of damage. However, the home field advantage of the Nerubian Towers is going to be perhaps problematic, as the Dreadlord trying to engage here. Dark Ranger trying to perhaps finish off a low hit point ghoul. Ghoul down to 58 hit points. Gonna get taken down. There it goes. And this is not looking good for Ling. Ling now gonna be trying to back off here. Supply count 48 compared to, well, let me figure this out, 39. Somehow WFZ is able to put down pressure even though he has less supply. But remember, a large amount of that supply is in additional acolytes that are constantly being trained, and this, well, Congo line of ghouls finally joining the party. Alright, joining the party they are, and, well, they make a big impact, but WFZ picking up and, well, perhaps dropping off with those units. Beautifully done. The Goblin Zeppelin, really, really powerful, and a natural counter to the Dreadlord, since the Dreadlord cannot sleep the mechanical unit. Goblin Zeppelin picking up and dropping off. Anytime you sleep a unit, essentially the Dreadlord is countered, and this may become the new meta. Death Coil heals there, as the Death Knight still sitting at level 3, not yet quite at level 4. Alright, battling still raging on. Goblin Zeppelin going to go ahead and try to drop off another unit. Damage is being lost there, as the Crypt Fiends are trying to, well, continue that pressure once more. Are we going to see some, well, additional damage? However, the Nerubian Towers could end up becoming the problem. There goes an Acolyte, as the Crypt Fiends may try and engage here. Now ER Ling with that fortified armor on on all of the buildings. Well, Crypt Fiends and Death Knight with Dark Ranger do not deal any bonus damage. In fact, they deal less damage towards these units. Alright, a quick transition into Gargoyles shows that WFZ in fact has Web. And with Web online, Gargoyles are obviously not the answer. Death Coil a split second late trying to heal that Ghoul, as the Crypt Fiends continue to back off there. WFZ continuing to try and engage. WFZ finally gets to level 4, trying to push back with this army. Crypt Fiends trying to engage here. If the Crypt Fiends are, if they are in fact focusing a single unit, that may actually work out better, as the, well, Death Knight able to heal up with a big Death Coil. Battle is still raging on. Death Knight uses a potion of mana, should be able to heal up another unit here. There goes another Crypt Fiend again, and the Skeletal Minions should start to be causing some problems. Double Obsidian Statue as well for the all-around AoE heal to keep all of these units alive and well. Crypt Fiend now trying to engage. Death Knight coming in from ER Ling in order to fight back here and perhaps do a little bit of burst heal of his own. ER Ling is low on mana, as the units are now fighting their way through. Gargoyles are not the answer right now. ER Ling has invested a good amount of supply into Gargoyles, and instead all that's given is now a level 3 Dark Ranger. Skeletal Minions will be getting that much stronger here, as we are now still fighting our way through. Crypt Fiends continuing to battle it out. Goblin Zeppelin outside of the range, unable to pick up any units, but should be able to if the Dreadlord tries to sleep. Death Knight now trying to, well, perhaps get a little bit of additional damage onto some of those units. Death Coil saves a unit. WFZ picks up 2 low hit point Crypt Fiends, and are they going to be able to be dropped off in the back? Death Knight is in trouble. He gets picked up and dropped back down. WFZ with that Goblin Zeppelin micro really coming out ahead right now, but the Death Knight, well, what's going to end up happening here? Goblin Zeppelin picked back up again, and WFZ is doing a beautiful job keeping alive all of these low hit point units, as the Obsidian Statue with that, amazing micro by WFZ, maximizing the effectiveness of all of his units. WFZ has been saving low hit point units while allowing other low hit point units to continue to deal damage. That is why he's winning this battle right now, and ER Ling may end up losing this expansion. Tech to tier 3 now underway. But at what cost? This expansion, which was a large economic advantage, may fall short here in just a moment. Skeletal Minion finally gets taken, or gets the killing blow there. Crypt Fiends are going to try and engage. Skeletal Minions are continuing to battle it off against over here as the army. Are they going to try and fight together? 1 Obsidian Statue, or 2 Obsidian Statues being left behind. Death Knight sitting at level 4 with Unholy Aura should be giving regeneration order to the Obsidian Statue, but not yet quite close enough. These units are now going to burrow, try to heal back up again. Meanwhile, Death Knight continuing to play this game, as the Crypt Fiends able to focus onto that Dreadlord, causing a large amount of damage. Death Knight, however, gets in a big heal, as the Dreadlord now back up to 530 hit points for a split second. Crypt Fiends now trying to focus down this Dreadlord. Dreadlord down to sub 300. Death Knight could be coming in with a big Death Coil if he had enough mana, as the WFZ continuing to focus fire down more units. All right, let's take a look at this. Down to 80 or 90 mana. Death Knight still at 50 mana, rather low at this point, as the units are now in full retreat. Carrion Swarm bustling through. ER Ling dealing massive damage to the Crypt Fiends, but the Crypt Fiends have been so well microed by WFZ that, well, deaths are not forthcoming. WFZ might finally lose, yes, a Crypt Fiend finally loses one right there. Other Gargoyles just outside of combat range compared to the rest of the units, as we may see WFZ turn back around and try and fight. Big damage being dealt across multiple units. Another Gargoyle going to get taken down. Death Knight down to 202 hit points after a Death Coil healing him back up. Dreadlord at 190 or 120 right now. WFZ in the driver's seat of this game. ER Ling, what is he going to really hope to do, as this expansion, if it does fall, takes away his sole advantage. Yes, both people are at tier 3, but WFZ's army is just significantly stronger. All right, Dark Ranger turning back the other way. A couple of webs now being placed down. WFZ absorbing that carry-on swarm right there. ER Ling still trying to fight back. That Sobi mask may be the difference here if he's able to get off more and more carry-on swarms. Dreadlord now trying to head back, but ER Ling throws in the towel as WFZ takes the victory. Beautiful Goblin Zeppelin micro in that game. No other way to describe it. WFZ outplaying his opponent even though he was down by over 3,000 gold. Hero advantage drastically tells a different story. WFZ getting up to 4-3-1 on his heroes. The Death Knight and the Dark Ranger. The Lich hadn't even joined the party yet as ER Ling was stuck at 4-1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.